was fat.
じゃあ皆さん、チャックの発音教室へようこそ。Hello and welcome to Chuck's pronunciation classroom. So now, my dear friends, let's take a look at the soft schwa sound, what we're really going to study for today. Please repeat after me. Uh. 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 Ah. 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 Okay? Now the reason that I wrote this is because a lot of Japanese speakers, when trying to sound like native English speakers, will make an ah sound instead of the schwa sound. But ah and are different sounds. As you can hear, this one is a little bit deeper. Ah, 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 They're not the same sound, although they sound very similar. Okay? So please be careful as we're practicing that you're making this sound and not this sound. Remember? Little lower. Now you're probably thinking, Chuck, I don't see how this relates to syllables. We were talking about syllables. Why are we talking about this schwa sound now? Let me show you. Now, what I want you guys to do is I'm going to say these words, and then I want you to notice where the stress is, okay? First one, remote control. Okay? Complete. Occasion. Devil. Circus. And Korea. Now, one of the things that makes pronunciation, and especially spelling, so difficult in English is the fact that any vowel, when it isn't stressed, can turn into a schwa sound. For example, remote control. Okay? We don't actually say remote control. We say remote control. Or complete. We don't say complete. We say complete. Or same with occasion. Occasion. Okay? We don't say occasion. We say occasion. Same sound, same sound, same sound, same sound, same sound. Same with the I in devil. We don't say devil. We say devil. Devil. You in circus, same way. And same with Korea. In this case, the middle syllable is stressed, so these syllables simply become schwas. Even though this is an O and this is an A, native English speakers will say Korea. They won't say Korea. They say Korea. Now, let's take a look at another few examples. Okay? First one, complicated. Next one, karate. Complicated. Karate. So in this case, the middle syllable becomes a schwa sound. Complicated. We don't say complicated, we say complicated. Okay? Because it's a schwa sound, that means if you don't know how to spell it, it might be written with an A, it might be written with an E, or an I, or an O, or a U. You can't tell listening to the way people say the word. That's why English is really hard to spell. Also, let's take a look at the word karate. Okay? Now, in Japanese, it's pronounced karate, right? But English speakers Usually, if it's a 3-syllable word, English speakers will stress the middle syllable. And a lot of the times, the first syllable, or the first and the last one, will become a schwa. So usually, English speakers will pronounce this as karate. So for you Japanese speakers out there, if you've wondered why Americans pronounce it as karate instead of karate, now you know. And actually, same with another Japanese word. Kimono. Right? In Japanese, it's pronounced kimono. But usually, English speakers will pronounce it kimono. Like that. Now, the reason that this happens is because English is what's called a stress-timed language, meaning that syllables that carry a stress are longer than syllables that do not carry a stress. So if a syllable doesn't have a stress, it actually becomes shorter and it turns into a schwa sound or a short vowel. English stress always follows a certain wave pattern. 英語のストレスはちょっと波みたいですよね。こんな感じ。Complicated. Karate. Kimono. そんな感じ。その波の低いところに音節は短くなる。This is also what causes an American accent or an English accent in Japanese. Because for Americans or for native English speakers, when we see a 3-syllable word, we tend to stress the middle syllable. So in Japanese, this would be pronounced atsuko. Okay? But in English, people would stress this one and people would say it as atsuko. For example, if you watch a lot of anime that has English dubbing with American actors, you hear this all the time. Instead of saying atsuko or takuya, they say atsuko, takuya. Atsuko, takuya, come quick, the yakuza are coming. So now, if you have your book, I want you to take a look at page 10. And if you'll notice, there's 6 words from the song, Decisions, Decisions, that we're going to practice with later. What I want you to do is take these words and then break them up into syllables. Like, for example, this first one, tonight. Okay, do that for all 6. And then after that, you can just write in where the schwa would go in each word. Let's try. Okay, so now let's take a look at how the words are broken up by syllables. First one. Tonight. Tonight. Next one. Decision. Decision. Next one. Again. Again. Next. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. Next one. Permission. Permission. And last one. Wanna. Now, let's take a look at where the stress is and where the schwas would be. Okay? So please listen to where the stress is. Tonight. So that means this syllable becomes the schwa. So we usually don't say tonight, we say tonight. Ta. Tonight. Next one. Decision. This syllable has the stress or the accent. This syllable becomes schwa, schwa. So じゃあこの音節はアクセントがあるからこの音節とこの音節はシュワになります。Decision. Decision. Next one. Again. Again. Tomorrow. Now, this is a little bit of an exception. これはちょっと例外ですよね。If you'll notice, this sound stays long. This stays as tomorrow. Usually, English speakers don't say tomorrow. Well, some people do, but personally, I think it sounds a little countryish. まあ、たまにこの発音があるでも、それはちょっと田舎っぽいよね。And this brings up another important point. This isn't a strict rule in English, it's simply a pattern, which means that sometimes there's exceptions. There are times where a syllable doesn't have a stress, and it keeps its regular vowel sound. It doesn't become a schwa. This is just a pattern of what usually happens. So that means that the best way for you to learn is simply to listen to English speakers and listen to how they talk so you can notice what vowels become schwas and which ones don't. So, moving on. Permission. Permission. Where's the stress? Again, the middle syllable. Permission. Okay? This one becomes a schwa. And also, this one becomes a schwa. But this is actually a special case because the schwa is followed by an R. And anytime an R follows a schwa, the sounds blend together to make the sound. Okay? That sound is called an R-colored schwa. Okay? Very, very common in spoken English, as in water. And the last word on the list, wanna. Where's the stress? Here, with one. So that means this one becomes a schwa sound. Okay? So as you can see, in this case, O, E, I-O, A, O, I-O, E, A. They all become a schwa sound when native speakers are speaking.
Yo, thought was fat.